sauce. But she love you, don't cut your. Reynolds Da Vinci is white. Limited Louis, that's light. Rape in the city, that's light. LED, look at the lights. We the ones don't like. But you look too light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes.
Out, valet, walk out, all these bands I lost count, cause I'm too up right now, too up right now. I'm too, on one day on my third, I was too broke, now I'm too rich, made 100K on my third shift, I'm a boy, so, boy, and I'm a gangster, and you a, boy, man, we been getting money for a long time, we was out here hungry for a long time. I don't never really have no punchlines. And all you rappers looking like a lunch line. Right now, I got you. Right now. Nothing, need a Uber right now. Right now, need crew love right now. Cause we too up right now. Ooh, I'm up right now.
All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. The scene from a few moments ago, this crowd enthusiastically cheering on their Texans as they emerge from the locker room. And we're just about ready for football as the Texans get set to match up with the Miami Dolphins. Both of these teams about to reach the halfway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. On the ground, this is Lamar Miller. And he's going to be stopped here on this first play as he gets it to the line of scrimmage and no more. The tackle by Robert Quinn. On second down, here's Miller. Limited running room as he'll get about 3 to the 21.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7.
Richmond. Hey, blue 80.
To throw is Watson. Drops it to Blue, complete. And he will have the first down, but he winds up paying for it pretty good. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. A first down carry now for Miller. And not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Richmond.
They'll try to run for it with Miller. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. Defense had a chance to get off the field here in the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
Richmond.
Watson on first down. He's got Fuller. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
8th play of this opening drive coming up. This is 3rd down. Play action for Miller. Now Watson. Going deep for Hopkins. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by T.J. McDonald. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Texans with the first opportunity now from the red zone. They've got it first and goal at the 6. They'll try and run for it with Miller. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Only a yard that time, second and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
One man in the backfield, that's Miller, second and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down. Now from back at the 5, this is third and goal. A shotgun snap for Watson. And too much on that one. It's out of the back of the end zone, incomplete.
Brandon, some of those windows that throw the football that exist when you're between the 20s, they don't exist when you're this close to the goal line. But as a former DB, I liked it closer to the goal line. Tighter windows made it easier to cover people, actually.
Now on fourth down, we've got a whistle here and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Kaimi Fairbairn now to attempt the Texan field goal. This a fairly straightforward 22-yard short attempt. Fairbairn able to put this one through. And it's now 3-0 Texans. The bottom line, tremendous starting field position, really squandered there as they wind up going backwards and then come up with just 3.
Well, getting the 3 turned out to be important. I can imagine the head coach when he ordered the field goal. Please salvage something out of this drive. That was not fun to watch.
Pretty move. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Tannehill and the Dolphins break the huddle. Come up 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. Here's the first carry for Kenyon Drake. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Second down, it's Drake. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down, keep the sticks moving.
On first down, Drake. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Tannehill hands to Drake, and he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
Now the rookie from Arizona State, it's Kalen Ballage. And he's going to take it down to about the 35 here. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a first down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
And now the Texans want to call another timeout. That's their 2nd, so they'll have 1 remaining here in this 2nd quarter. We'll be right back. On 1st and 10, Tannehill. And Stills over the middle. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. And with that, they're now out of timeouts, and still plenty of time remaining here in this second quarter. They'll try and pound it in with Drake. And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. Kenyon Drake, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Dolphins are in for 6. And this one through the uprights and good. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Hey, Blue 80! Blue 80! Tiger!
Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to wind up and air it out. And it's knocked away and incomplete. The veteran Jimmy Smith there on the coverage.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old-school defense right now. The new school defense is what you said, taking the ball away.
Down! Blue 80! Blue 80! Tiger! Two jet! Come back!
On 2nd and 10, Watson. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. The veteran Jimmy Smith there on the coverage.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. The Texans on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
So that's what that elbow in my ribs was all about. You thought they were going to throw the ball as well.
Absolutely. I think everybody thought they were throwing the football, caught him off guard.
Yeah, I'm telling you, when you have the courage to make that type of a play call, a lot of times you actually get rewarded.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. First down throw, Watson. Griffin's got it, middle of the field. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Tenth carry now for Lamar Miller. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Down. Black 22. Black 22. Rush it.
2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. The Texans on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9.
Target. Set. Blue 80.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Now the Dolphins are going to halt the action here. It's a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. The Texans send the punter out. Jakeem Grant back deep for Miami. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
Man, it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. Now Drake. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Drake off the give from Tannehill. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage space for him.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And now out comes Houston. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Black 22! Black 22!
They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And now where are they going to mark him here? Well, they say he did get back to the 1-yard line, but that could have easily been 2 points the other way. Oh, a quarterback sneak on 2nd down. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. He'll get 3 there on the sneak, but it still leaves him with a 3rd down.
Hey, give him credit. That's a good, solid gain there on the sneak because it all comes together. Enough space, Get forward, gain yardage. Well done.
So we've reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Dolphins taking a lead to the locker room. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. They'll start the drive with Drake. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. On second down, here's Tannehill. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, didn't look his way at all in the first half. And I'll bet you the offense coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. From the gun, here's Tannehill. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
no, tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
They go play action here on first down. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A really nice gain of 25 yards. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
Down! Blue 80! Blue 80! Two jet! Two jet!
Watson going to give this one to Miller. And he's across midfield and into Miami territory. A gain of 3, second down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Reset, reset, reset! Black 99 Philly! Red!
Again, it's Miller. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
And Brandon, every running back wants to use their speed in order to get out in front of things. Sometimes you just have to be patient, let blocks develop. On that play, that didn't happen.
Watson off play action. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. First and 10.
Flag 22. Richmond.
On first down, Watson. The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. Second and 3.
Flag 99 Philly.
They go back to the ground now with Miller. And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. It leaves them with third and just a yard.
Flag 99 Philly.
They'll run it again with Miller. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter.
Richmond. Tiger.
From the gun, here's Watson. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
So after the incompletion, second and 10 from the 22.
Tiger. Hey,
now Miller, he's had a big workload here tonight. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
The Texans on third down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This is third down and 12. Back to throw, Watson. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. The screen does get him 9, but it also brings up a fourth down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So a decent drive there to start the third quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
Jakeem Grant now to return. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting pain.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. The former #1 overall pick, Jadeveon Clowney. Coming on the blitz, he gets him for a loss of 7. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. They'll fake the handoff. Now Tannehill going for the deep ball. That's caught inside the 20. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Kenny Stills, his first touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins are able to grow their lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And he'll be stopped just shy of the 25 with a penalty marker down. Here's the call. And with the play clock running low, Bill O'Brien's going to signal for a timeout. And that's going to leave him with just 1 timeout remaining still in the 3rd quarter. We'll see if that comes back to haunt him. We'll be back. So after the face mask, they get to start all the way up past the 35 now. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. First carry for Deontay Foreman, who was lost to the Achilles injury last year. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Down! Black 22! Black 22!
Back now in Houston, it's Texans football, but they trail here as we get started in the 4th quarter. The Texans on third down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6.
Come back, come back.
Out of the gun, Watson. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Cameron Wake in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year. The Texans send the punter out as he'll punt it away for the second time. This is taken around the 12. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And it'll be Dolphin football. And out come the Dolphins now. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Now a play fake, and it's Tannehill. Over the middle here to Wilson. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 42-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. Able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
To throw on second down is Tannehill. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll go down at the 28. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Tannehill now, 5 straight completions here in this second half, 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Tannehill throwing for his running back, and he's got it complete. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. The Dolphin passing game rolling here. They've got another 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. Good gain there on 1st down. It keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front. Good blocking. Nice hole for him. Ends up picking up nice yardage. Stays in bounds and keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this 4th quarter. Under 4 to go now as they come up on 2nd down. They'll stay on the ground. Balaj again. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
From the gun on 3rd down, Tannehill. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Sanders' kick is good, and that will extend their lead here to 17-6. A big one there. That gives them a little cushion and makes it a two-score game.
Yeah, bled a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
He's going to sling this deep downfield and nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Back to the air, Watson on second down. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's third down now. So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since.
Two jet. Red, green, 39. Green, 39. Richmond. Tiger.
Again, it's Watson. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. The rookie Minka Fitzpatrick with a pick.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
Tannehill and the Dolphins break the huddle. Come up 1st and 10 at their own 24. After the interception, here's Tannehill. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Jadeveon Clowney in there to get him for his 2nd sack of the night.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Here's Tannehill now on 2nd down. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. The Dolphins on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and a mile. A shotgun snap for Tannehill. He's going to let this one go deep. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. in for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. Now a 20th carry of the game for Lamar Miller. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This will be 3rd and 6. Here's a give to Miller. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. And they'll run for it with Miller. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. On 1st down, it's Watson. He's going to let it fly. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Xavier Howard with a good coverage that time as he was there and knocked it away.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Play action for Miller. Now Watson rolling to his right. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, 3rd down. Tried to go for the big one there on 2nd down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. Throwing now, Tannehill. And Stills over the middle. A very good move, but for a relatively modest gain out near the 32. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Off play action, Tannehill. Going up top. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And he will have a 1st down here at about the 40. It'll go as a gain of 9, and that should write an ending to this one. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Brought in over the middle by Graham. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big pickup there, and without question, that should be more than enough to wrap this one up. And the spike comes with 9 seconds left to go. Play action, it's Tannehill. And now he lost the football. Tannehill loses it. And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted, no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you prime the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for Miami, they close out this first half at a very solid 6-2. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week, where they take on the New York Jets. Meanwhile, for the Texans, they drop back to 500 now at 4 up and 4 down. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel to Denver to take on the Broncos. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.